Nutrition on a Dime is a new album topic on Echo Scapegoat Recovery Tactics 2018 by Gail, Meyers and KC3 Lady Kelly on Patreon and Facebook. Nutrition is important no matter where you are on your journey. It is important during recovery, it is important during stressful times of dealing with narcissists and flying monkeys, and it is important if you are being stalked. So we would like to bring the topic to the forefront even though we are not nutritionists or dietitians. These are our top 10 nutrition on a dime recipes. 1. Best Chicago-style pizza crust recipe. Ingredients: 2 tablespoons of olive oil, plus 6 tablespoons for pan. 1 cup of warm milk, not warmer than 110 degrees. Test it on the inside of your wrist like you would a baby bottle if need be. 2 teaspoons of sugar. 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, plus some for dusting. 1 packet of yeast. ½ teaspoon of salt. Instructions: preheat the oven to 400 degrees. Oil 2 deep dish baking pans with 3 tablespoons each of olive oil, then set them aside. 2 8 or 9-inch by 8 or 9-inch deep dish, 3 or 4 inches, baking pans will do the job. Combine dry ingredients and whisk. Combine wet ingredients. Pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients and knead until smooth. Roll into a ball and place in an oiled, covered bowl, let rise 1 hour or until dough doubles in size. Remove dough from the bowl and onto a counter dusted with flour, separate into 2 halves. Press into 2 pans, cover and let rise for 1 hour or until doubles in size. Spread tomato sauce on the crust, bake 3 to 5 minutes. Remove, add desired toppings and cheese, then bake for 20 minutes. This is fabulous pizza crust recipe. Enjoy.
Recipe number 2. Master cookie dough recipe that you can add nearly anything you like to. Ingredients: 3 cups of all-purpose flour. ½ teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. 1 cup of butter, which is 2 sticks, at room temperature. 1 cup of brown sugar, packed, press it into the measuring cup. ½ cup of sugar. 2 large eggs at room temperature. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And 2 cups of chocolate chips or chopped nuts of your choice. You can also add 1 cup of chocolate chips and 1 cup of nuts, but the recipe calls for 2 cups total. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees and line 2 cookie sheets with parchment paper and set aside. Combine the dry ingredients and whisk. Combine the wet ingredients. Then thoroughly combine the wet ingredients with the dry ingredients. Using a spoon, place 1½ inch scoops of dough onto cookie sheets a couple of inches apart. Bake 13 to 15 minutes. Then remove from the oven and let cool for a few minutes before eating.
Recipe number 3, American White Sandwich Bread. For this recipe you will need 3 1/4 cups of bread, 4, unbleached preferred, and I have used all-purpose flour for this. 1 tablespoon of sugar. ½ teaspoon of iodized salt. Whisk ingredients together in a large bowl and set aside. Then add 1 1/4 teaspoon of yeast, which is 1 packet or measure it from a jar, to ½ cups of warm water. Combine and proof, which means look for bubbles to make sure the yeast is active before adding it to the recipe, about 10 minutes or so. Add the yeast and water above to the dry ingredient in the bowl set aside, along with the following: 1 cup warm milk, 1 large egg, 4 tablespoons of butter at room temperature. Butter is marked by tablespoons on the stick wrapper. Then dust the countertop with flour as needed. Knead only until smooth and form a ball, then place in buttered bowl, covered, until dough doubles in size, 40 minutes to 1 hour. Fold the dough in thirds, top third down, bottom third up, eliminate air. Place in buttered bowl to rise another hour until doubled in size, covered. Form dough into a rectangle and place in a 4½ inch by 8½ inch long pan, lightly oiled and floured. Let rise until double in size. Then bake at 425 degrees for 15 minutes, spray with water, then bake at 375 degrees for 25 minutes. Allow to cool a bit before serving. Next, are bone broths recipes. This is just a quick excerpt I grabbed off of the internet last summer, and I think he changed his website shortly thereafter. I just wanted something to highlight the health benefits of bone broth. It is worth the effort, especially if you have or get a crock-pot. So, these are 6 major benefits of bone broth by Dr. Josh Axe. 1. Protects your joints. Bone broth is one of the best sources of natural collagen. It is found in animal bones, skin, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and bone marrow. Bone broth provides gelatin, which is a soft cushion between our bones. 2. Good for the gut. It helps seal up holes in intestines, which can also prevent chronic diarrhea, constipation, and even some food intolerances. 3. Look younger. Bone broth is a rich source of collagen. It will help make your skin, hair and nails look and feel better. Taking bone broth will maintain skin's youthful tone, texture, and appearance. 4. Supports immune system. Bone broth will help strengthen your immune system. Collagen and the amino acids proline, glutamine and arginine will help support a healthy gut. 5. Boost detoxification. Bone broth has potassium and glycine in it, which support both cellular and normal liver detoxification. 6. Aids the metabolism and promotes anabolism. The amino acids found in bone broth have many roles. Some include building and repairing muscle tissue, supporting bone mineral density, boosting nutrient absorption, and maintaining healthy elimination. Note, this information is presented in good faith, but as is with no guarantee of accuracy, since we are not medical doctors. These next recipes are for bone stock, chicken, beef, and vegetable. You can stop the video and choose one you want to start with. These are just basic recipes for you to start with and make your own. You really can add nearly whatever you like or have on hand to the recipes. Then, after cooking, 45 minutes to 8 hours depending on the recipe, strain with a cheesecloth. Recipe number 5, roasted pumpkin seeds. Sprinkle pumpkin seeds with salt, and with olive or other oil of choice. Bake in 170-degree oven for 15-20 minutes. Eat pumpkin seeds. They not only taste good, are good for you, but also kill parasites. Start with a small amount, 1 tablespoon, and work your way up. Be sure to drink 8 to 10 ounces of water within an hour. 2.
Recipe number 6, carrot apple soup. The ingredients you will need are 1 tablespoon of butter or margarine, 1 medium yellow onion, peeled and diced, 1 stalk of celery, sliced, 8 medium carrots, sliced, 2 medium sweet apples, peeled, cored, and chopped, 5 cups chicken broth, ½ teaspoon dried sage, crumbled, 1/3 teaspoon pepper, 1 bay leaf, and be sure to discard the bay leaf before eating or blending. Add onion and celery to butter in a pan over low heat until softened. Add remaining ingredients, covered over low heat until soft. Let cool 10 minutes and smooth in a blender in small batches. Be sure to remove the bay leaf. Carrots and carrot juice are a known remedy for treating intestinal parasites. I like mixing a salad with grated carrots, coconut and raisins. It is not only delicious but a very powerful parasite remedy. Brenda Cosentino, Everyday Foods That Kill Parasites on RealFoodRebel.com. Recipe number 7 is split pea and potato soup. If you are trying to eat on a dime, this soup is filling and economical. You will need 1 tablespoon of butter or margarine, 1 yellow onion, 2 cups of beef broth, 2 cups of water, ½ cup of dried split green peas, rinsed, 2 medium potatoes, peeled and quartered, 1/4 teaspoon pepper. In a saucepan melt butter, add onion and cook until soft, about 5 minutes. Stir in water and beef broth and bring to a boil, about 4 minutes. Add peas and potatoes, adjust the heat so mixture bubbles gently. Cover and cook for 30 minutes or until peas and potatoes are tender. Remove from heat. Let cool 10 minutes. Then you can whirl in a blender or food processor for smoother texture. Tomato and fennel soup recipe. Say hello to fennel. If you have never cooked with fennel, this is a good recipe to give it a try. Fennel quickly became a favorite upon discovery a few years ago. Fennel is in the produce section of your grocery store. It is fairly easy to choose, and this recipe calls for 1 bulbs. The bulb is easily distinguished as the white bottom. Fennel seeds are also available. This recipe can be made with a fresh fennel bulb or a tablespoon of seeds. Fennel seeds are aromatic and rather potent, so you do not need many to pack a flavorful punch. Many say the seeds resemble the taste of licorice. When fixing this recipe with fennel seeds, place them on a cutting board and them up a little bit prior to use. Fennel is used for various digestive problems including heartburn, intestinal gas, bloating, loss of appetite, and colic in infants. It is also used for upper respiratory tract infections, coughs, bronchitis, cholera, backache, bedwetting, and visual problems. Quote by WebMD regarding fennel. Cook time. Prep time, 20 minutes. Cook time, 30 minutes. Ready in 50 minutes. Yields, 6 servings. Ingredients. 1 fennel bulb, chopped. 1/4 cup olive oil, or other favorite. 1 medium onion, chopped. 1 medium carrot, diced. 3 teaspoons dried or 2 tablespoons fresh tarragon, chopped. Dash red pepper flakes. 28 ounces condensed tomatoes, or fresh equivalent. 2 cups chicken stock, extra as needed. Salt to taste. 1 cup crème fraîche. Instructions. Remove and discard stalks from fennel bulb. Cut the bulbs in half lengthwise. Remove the tougher inner core. Chop fennel into small pieces. Heat olive oil in a large pot, add chopped fennel, onion, and carrots. Cook until tender and browning, stirring frequently, about 8 minutes. Stir in the remaining ingredients except the crème fraîche, reduce to a gentle simmer. Cover and cook until tender, about 20 minutes. Let cool enough to blend small batches in a food processor or blender until smooth. Return each batch to pot. Ladle into small bowls with desired amount of crème fraîche. Garnish with tarragon or pernod. Crème fraîche substitute recipe, optional. If you are unfamiliar with crème fraîche Kendall Farms explains. The Larousse gastronomique defines crème fraîche as cream to which a lactic bacteria starter has been added which thickens the cream and gives it a slightly sharp, but not sour flavor. Crème fraîche originated in the dairy-producing regions of France such as Normandy, Alsace, Franche-Comté and the northern Loire. Fresh milk was left to settle overnight at cool ambient temperature to allow the cream to rise to the top and then be collected for making butter. The naturally occurring lactose fermenting bacteria worked overnight to thicken and acidify the cream. Crème fraîche can be purchased in the fine cheeses section of your local grocery store, or the following tasty substitution is provided. Prepare this 8-12 hours prior to preparing tomato and fennel soup, in order for the live cultures to reproduce. These are considered the good bacteria. Combine 1 cup of heavy cream with half a cup of sour cream. Cover and let stand for at least 8 hours. You should notice this mixture getting thick. Recipe number 9, Roasted Butternut Squash Soup. Preparation time is 15 minutes, cooking time is 35 minutes. You will need 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine, 1 yellow onion, medium peeled and chopped, diced, 2 cloves of garlic, smashed or chopped, 1 stalk of celery, chopped in 1-inch pieces, 1 medium butternut squash 1.5 to 2 pounds, prepared, 4 cups chicken broth or bouillon, ½ teaspoon dried marjoram, sprinkled, 1 bay leaf, but be sure to remove prior to serving, 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon pepper, 1 cup of buttermilk, You can substitute 1 tablespoon of lemon juice or white vinegar, then fill to 1 cup with regular milk. A few sprigs or flakes of parsley. Preparing squash means preheat the oven to 425 degrees and cut the squash in half, top to bottom, then oil with about a tablespoon each of oil, and bake for 30 minutes or until tender, on a cookie sheet, preferably lined with parchment paper for easier cleanup. Let cook, cut into small chunks and add to soup. Do this after scooping seeds out, which can be roasted like pumpkin seeds. Cook soup. Now, melt butter over medium heat in a large saucepan. Add onion, garlic, and celery, and cook uncovered until onions are soft, about 5 minutes. Add prepared squash, chicken broth, marjoram, bay leaf, and pepper, bring to a boil. After reaching a boil, reduce heat so that soup bubbles gently, cover and simmer about 20 minutes. Remove from heat, discard bay leaf, and cool for 10 minutes. Whirl in 3 or 4 small batches in a blender for 20 to 30 seconds for smooth soup. Return soup to the saucepan and stir in buttermilk over low heat for a couple of minutes, being careful not to boil. Serve with parsley sprigs. Makes 6 servings. Recipe number 10, with a quick bonus recipe to follow, is asparagus soup with tarragon creme fraiche. You will need 1.5 pounds of asparagus, chopped into small pieces. 2 tablespoons of butter. 1 small onion, diced. 4 cups of chicken stock. 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, adjust to taste. ½ cup white rice. ½ cup creme fraiche. 1 tablespoon tarragon, fresh and chopped, but dried also works well. Prepare the creme fraiche. Substitute 8 to 12 hours ahead of time in order for the good bacteria to reproduce. Combine 1 cup of heavy cream with ½ cup of sour cream. Cover and let stand at least 8 hours. Mix in most of the fresh chopped or dried tarragon, reserve a bit to garnish. Now to prepare the soup. 1. Heat the butter in a large soup pot over medium heat until melted. Add onions, stir and cook until tender, a couple of minutes. Add asparagus pieces, stir. 2. Add chicken stock, rice, and cayenne pepper. Bring to a boil, then cover and reduce heat. Simmer until tender, 15 to 20 minutes. 3. After allowing soup to cool so as not to burn yourself, puree in 3 or more small batches in a blender or food processor. Return soup to pot with burner off. 4. Whisk most of the creme fraiche into the soup a little at a time, reserving some as a garnish. This is possibly the best soup I have ever tasted. So enjoy. To make homemade cocoa or hot chocolate, add 2 tablespoons of 100% cocoa to 2 cups of milk, then add 2 tablespoons of sugar and 1/8 teaspoon vanilla extract. Check out Nutrition on a Dime on Echo Scapegoat Recovery Tactics 2018 on Facebook at Gail Meyers Lady. If you have a recipe that is cheap and nutritious, the ingredients store well, kills parasites, or is healthy and healing, and is not copyrighted, share it with us on Facebook. Look for this photo to share your recipe. Nutrition on a Dime, all rights reserved worldwide. Echo Scapegoat Recovery Tactics 2018. Gail Meyers and KC3 Lady Kelly, Kansas City. This video may be embedded but not downloaded for commercial or any other reuse. If you see this video on a video downloading site, do not click on it and please report it. Thank you.